Okay, so today we're at Tsunami headquarters and we're going to talk about our first really big exercise, golf specificity wise, and how the Tsunami bars are used to really enhance what you're going to do with the duality of the bar. Now, we've talked a little bit about impact conditioning and how to use the golf Tsunami bar that way. This will be our first major exercise and how it ties into golf using the golf Tsunami bar. So I'm going to have both of my coaches demonstrate a deadlift on each side of me. So gentlemen, if you'll kind of get in position, just go ahead and pull the bar all the way up to waist level. Now, these guys are getting ready to demonstrate an exercise called the Tsunami deadlift. Now, there's only a couple exercises that if all you could do was one or two exercises, deadlift would be one of them. Now, you might have been doing deadlifts in the gym, and you say, well, why would I want to do a deadlift on the Tsunami golf bar? There's a couple different reasons. Number one, first thing you do when you grab it, you feel the pliability. So gentlemen, let the bar move a little bit. You can see how the bar shakes. The Tsunami wave of contractibility gives you pliability, gives you reflexology, and it gives you a special word that applies to golf, and you know what it is, it's lag. So immediately you feel lag in the Tsunami golf bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate a deadlift, and as we focus in with the camera, we're going to see a start and a finish, and we're going to see what goes on in between to make sure technically you know what you're doing there, but also the tie-in. How does it relate to your golf swing, and why would I recommend it on my highest level of exercise prescription? So I'll use Coach Thames first. He's done a few deadlifts in his time. So Robbie, if you perform a deadlift from the ground all the way up. Now notice in the beginning position, get down there and hold that position for me for a second. I notice I'm asking a lot, but notice he's got a nice flat back here. His hips are bent. He's going to come all the way up and extend those hips in there. That's vertical power. In golf, you have 4 power systems. Vertical power is the one that most people use a lot. Now, sometimes they don't know how to use it if they can't disassociate, but if they do understand how to disassociate, they're going to get a lot out of vertical power. So go ahead and give me a couple more, Robbie. So if you notice, he's really keeping his back nice and flat. He's leading with his head up, chest up, bringing the hips through. Hold it right there. So vertical power happens from what happens in these 3 joints: the ankle joint, the knee joint, and the hip joint. When you see a lot of young players, as they get ready to go into impact, a lot of them vertical jump into the bar. If you watch the long drive champions, most of them have 2 or 3 inches of vertical jump right at the bar. They may not be as equipped to get power out of the torso power, or arm chopping power, or elbow to wrist power, but one thing they do have, they have these 3 joints working in succession to give them great vertical power.
I get a lot of injuries at the high school level from the athletes doing this exercise incorrectly.
Right.
They're breaking at the hips too much versus the knees. They're bending first at the hips. Now, just walk me through as I go down. Breaking where first? Knees?
Well, first thing you got to understand that with a steel bar, it's 45 pounds. This Tsunami bar is basically 9 pounds, Robbie, is that right?
10 pounds.
10 pounds, and we have 5 pounds on there. The cool thing about the Tsunami bar is you can multiply that times 3, because the Tsunami wave of contractibility gives you the contractibility feel of 3 times every contraction what you normally have with a dead weight, it being live. So immediately, and going back to your point, Coach Brian, is that there's pliability and softness in the bar, so immediately you have less tension. When you have less tension, now you immediately have more mobility in the pelvis. So if you just let your pelvis rotate naturally, just let it bend, just let the knees bend where they want to bend and bring the hips through. You just have to make sure that we have what's called athletic posture position.
So as I break to let the bar drop,
right,
it's a simultaneous bend at the knees.
That's
and
right.
Bend forward at
That's
the
right.
As I reverse the force and field,
right,
and reach back at the top, I'm feeling a little bit. Am I supposed to feel a little bit of a pop.
Yeah, you'll feel a pop, you'll feel explosion in the hips, but you'll also feel, remember, this is a total body exercise. So go up and down for me a couple more times. You're going to feel glutes. You're going to feel quads. You're going to feel a little bit of lower backs. If you have tight hamstrings, you're going to feel hamstrings on there. The number one thing to remember in proficiency of technique and safety, and Robbie backed me up on this, as long as those shoulders stay back in position, as long as you keep that spine protected by not getting into what we call C posture, you're going to be fine. So now both guys, I'm going to let them rock out about 10 reps, and we're working on good, proper technique. They're feeling, I want them to feel lag in the Tsunami golf bar in a deadlift, but they're also feeling the ground. Guys, are you really driving your feet down and pushing with those 3 joints I talked about for vertical power? Because if you are, groundation or ground reaction is exactly what you guys feel when you're hitting golf balls or playing the game. And when you step out, you can freeze right there. And when you step out of your divots after practicing, you should see the ground all messed up as if you'd almost caused divots with your shoes because of the groundation, because of the power. Well, guess what? Let's do a couple more. By learning how to put all your power and all your vertical power created by those 3 joints, you're going to get a better groundation. You're going to get better reaction into the ground. And also, you're going to strengthen, you can stop right there, everything in your neurological system. There's a couple of exercises, Robbie, that we know that are what we call total body exercises. Power clean would be one, which we'll get on later down the road, but deadlifts would be number 2.
I agree.
So a fantastic exercise. Implement it in your program, you'll like the results.